Good day, everyone. My name is Patricia Isabel Cayabyab, and I will be discussing Chapter 5, which is Emerging Technologies and Information Technology Infrastructure. First, let's start with the introduction. Information technology, or IT infrastructure, is the shared technological assets that serve as the foundation for the unique information system applications used by firms. A firm's entire business unit can invest in hardware, software, and services, including consulting, training, and education as part of its IT infrastructure. Now, let us define IT infrastructure. Like what I've said earlier, IT infrastructure is a collection of hardware and software that supports an organization's operations. Now, let's dive deeper as I present some of the specific services. First, we have computing platforms. It includes cloud environments, mainframes, mid-range systems, desktops, and laptops used for computing services. Next, we have telecommunication services. It enables connectivity across employees, customers, and suppliers via data, voice, and video. Next, we have data management services. It handles storage, organization, and access of corporate data through databases and tools. Next, we have application software services. It provides enterprise systems such as ERP, CRM, and supply chain management to support business processes. Next, we have physical facilities management services. It oversees physical infrastructure like data centers and hardware setups. Number six, we have IT management services. It focuses on planning, development, and coordination of IT infrastructure and services. Number seven, we have IT standard services. It establishes policies and guidelines to ensure consistency and compatibility across systems. Number eight, we have IT education services. It trains employees on systems usage and supports decision making for IT investments. And last but not the least, number nine, we have IT research and development services. It identifies and develops new technologies to help the business stay competitive. To summarize, understanding IT infrastructure value is challenging because it is often shared across organizations and it is not tied to a single platform or a single function. Its full value becomes visible only when all components work together as an integrated system. For example, a high-performing employee's productivity is amplified by access to systems like the internet speed and internal networks. Without these, efficiency drops significantly, showing that IT infrastructure directly impacts overall business performance and employee output. Now let's discuss the five eras of IT infrastructure. First, we have the mainframe and mini-computer era, which is from 1959 up to present. It started with large centralized systems like IBM mainframes. The 360 introduced time sharing or multiple users on one system, and it transitioned into smaller and more affordable mini-computers in 1965. It was made possible by the Decentralized Equipment Corporation, or the DEC, which provided machines at a lower prices compared to the IBM mainframes. Number two, we have the personal computer era, which is from 1981 up to present. During this era, there is a rise of desktops from the IBM, which is the beginning of the PC era. Initially using the DOS system, but later on transitioned to Microsoft Windows operating system, the Windows PC, which became the industry standard desktop personal computer. Next, we have the client-server era, which is from 1983 up to present. Desktop or laptop, known as clients, are connected to powerful server machines. Servers refer to both the network software and the computer that runs it. So in this figure, you will see here a multi-tiered client-server network, or what we call N-tier. And as you can see, the workload of the entire network is distributed across various levels of servers according to the service type being requested. Okay, next we have the enterprise computing era, which is from 1992 up to present. The focus shifted to integrating networks and systems across the organization. Adoption of TCP or IP standard enabled connection of different networks. Transmission Control Protocol or the TCP and Internet Protocol or the IP networking standard to connect their dispersed networks as the internet matured into a reliable communication environment. The resulting IT infrastructure links different pieces of computer hardware and smaller networks into an enterprise-wide network so that information can flow freely across the organization and between the firm and other organizations. Number 5, we have cloud and mobile computing era, which is from 2000 up to present. During this time, evolution of client-server into cloud computing model was being seen. It is driven by fast internet bandwidth and global connectivity. Cloud computing gives users online access to a shared pool of computing resources such as computers, storage, software, and other services. Any linked device and location can access these clouds of computing resources as needed. Cloud computing is the type of computing that is currently expanding the quickest, with businesses spending roughly $109 billion on public cloud services in 2012 and a projected $207 billion by the end of 2016. This is according to Gartner 2012. Now let's proceed with the technology drivers of infrastructure evolution. So what we see here is the Moore's Law and microprocessing power. Moore's Law, introduced by Gordon Moore, states that the number of transistors on a microprocessor doubles every 1 to 2 years, leading to an exponential growth in computing power and a decline in cost, driven by continuous miniaturization and advances like nanotechnology. So this principle explains why modern devices are becoming faster, smaller, and more affordable, making it a key force behind innovation and digital infrastructure. The law of mass digital storage. The amount of digital information doubles every year. At the same time, the cost of data storage declines exponentially about 100% per year. Storage capacity per dollar has increased dramatically over time. By 2012, a 500 GB hard drive cost around $60, showing how affordable storage has become. And its impact enables big data, cloud storage, and cost-efficient data management for businesses. Now let's proceed to Metcalfe's law and network economics. It was introduced by Robert Metcalfe in 1970. It states that a network's value increases exponentially as the number of users grow. More users means more connections and interactions, which means higher overall network value. The core insight of this is the more people connected, the more valuable the network becomes. Now let's proceed with declining communication costs and the internet. Communication costs are rapidly decreasing and approaching near zero. Internet usage has grown exponentially with billions of global users. Lower costs means massive increase in usage of networks and computing resources. Internet and telecom systems are increasingly integrated. Next, we have the standards and network effects. Technology standards enable systems and devices to work together. As it is essential for the development of enterprise infrastructure with the internet. Without standards, technology would be fragmented, incompatible, and more expensive. Now we have here the infrastructure components. So in the IT infrastructure ecosystem, there are 7 major components that must be coordinated to provide the firm with a coherent IT infrastructure. And in this figure, those 7 are listed here. So let's go over them one by one. Let's start first with the computer hardware platforms. These are the physical devices like servers, computers, and mobile devices that run all systems. Next, we have the operating system platforms. These manage the hardware and allow users to interact with the devices. Then we have the enterprise software applications, which supports business processes such as sales, operations, and customer management. Moving on, we have networking and telecommunications. This connects all devices and systems, enabling communication and data sharing. Next, we have consultants and system integrators. These help design, implement, and maintain the IT system. Next, we have the data management and storage. This is where all company data is stored, organized, and accessed. And finally, we have the internet platforms, which support online operations, including websites, cloud services, and web applications. That ends my presentation. So again, I have discussed Chapter 5, which is Emerging Technologies and Information Technology Infrastructure. Thank you po.